Greetings, everyone. I am Ngabuto Nicholas Mabena. It's a Monday, the 6th of October 2025. We are getting closer to the deadline of the Zimbabwe exemption permits. In a few weeks' time, the grace period will expire on the 28th of November 2025. If you received the exemption, it will expire a day after, that is the 29th of November 2025. We've been saying that we hope the minister will make an announcement, and we still think that he is going to make an announcement. But given that we are getting closer to the deadline, what is it that the minister will say? It's a question that we're asking ourselves. It is a speculation on our part because we have not spoken to the minister. We do not know what the minister will say, but we are just imagining. If the North Gauteng High Court, in its judgment, said that the minister has 12 months to consult holders of the Zimbabwe exemption permits, and we are just less than a month away from that happening, just a month and some few days from that happening. It means that if the minister were to implement the judgment, which was confirmed by the Constitutional Court, by the way, there's no way that is going to meet the deadline. Because we're just about a month, and a month of 2 weeks before official expire of the grace period, which he granted through Directive 15 of 2024. Now, given that this is the only period that is left, and in this period, we do not think that the minister will consult. What then is likely to happen? As I said, this is just speculation on our part. We think that the minister, that's our thinking. I don't want you to say, Mabena said this. Mabena said the minister is going to say this. No. I'm saying, I suspect, myself and my team, we suspect that the minister might extend the grace period for another 12 months to afford him the opportunity to consult in line with the court judgment. That's what we think. Because we are speculating, so don't say you are wrong. Yes, we might be wrong, we might be correct, but that's what we think. So the most possible thing that the minister will do will say the grace period is extended for another 12 months for him and his team to carry out the consultation. Secondly, because this extension, in our view, what we think, because the minister might say the decision by cabinet in 2021, and after he has reviewed everything without consultation, possible engaging other ZEP holders, not all of them, but other ZEP holders. The minister might say, in his well-considered view, like I'm saying, outside consultation, the decision to not to the decision to discontinue with the Zimbabwe exemption permits in 2021 was a correct decision. And this decision must not be replaced by anything. It must actually continue. The process of to discontinue must continue. There must not be a review of that decision. Then, because there is this court case, a court judgment, which says the minister, notwithstanding what cabinet announced in November, then an extension to allow the minister to satisfy or to be seen to be implementing the judgment. Remember, we discussed the Helen Suzman Foundation and the COMSA statements where they expressed the concern that the minister has not yet consulted anyone. So if the minister were to keep quiet, there's a good chance that Helen Suzman Foundation and the COMSA might go back to court and say the minister did not implement or abide by the judgment. That is to consult. So to avoid another court case, the minister might simply say, look, I appointed an immigration advisory team, which is advising me on this matter. We are still looking into what they've submitted. We need sufficient time. I therefore grant another 12 months extension. This will mean that the Helen Suzman Foundation, COMSA, will not go back to court because it will be the understanding will be that in the 12 months period, the minister will then be consulting. But if the minister does not grant the extension, then Helen Suzman Foundation might actually, and the COMSA, might go back to court because this is their case. Something very remote in my view, and I'm saying this, it's a possibility, but it's a bit kind of a difficult possibility, if I were to use the word. Not really difficult, but it has political implications as South Africa goes to local government elections. Remember, this is not one party governing. It is a government of national unity. So if the minister were to announce this decision, which I'm saying I doubt that he will announce, cabinet might not support his proposal. Like I'm saying that because the cabinet now is made up of different political parties, and the eyes of every political party is in the elections next year, local government elections. And no party wants to be accused of protecting migrants, given the temperature on the ground as we build up to the elections. But that is a distant possibility. That to avoid the extension, the 12 months extension, to avoid the court case, The minister might simply say, okay, just like the amnesty of 1995, 1996, where those that were using South African documents from the SADC region, the minister might say, I'm granting you permanent residence. Let me put it this way. Assuming the minister, after his own internal consultation, say with his office, the department, the immigration advisory board, then the proposal is permanent residence. If the minister says convinced, he might face challenges in cabinet because cabinet is made up of different political parties. So cabinet might say, Minister, while we understand you, but let us hold on in granting permanent residence. We have an election coming next year. Let's rather extend the grace period. I'm saying this is what I'm thinking. Let's assume that the minister and the cabinet then agree that permanent residence. This will mean everyone who was a holder of the Zimbabwe exemption permit when the decision to discontinue was taken. That's the first thing, right? And this is what should happen. Because on the, was it 24th November 2021, when cabinet said it will discontinue, and they said people should then move to other visas. Those that would have moved but were ZEP holders should also then benefit to be granted permanent residence. Those that moved out of the Zimbabwe special permit ZSP, then left ZSP granted other mainstream visas, but up to now have not been granted a permanent residence. It means they should be granted. Because the ZEP is based on the initial amnesty granted in 2010, where people applied for documentation Zimbabwe project, DZP. As long as the person is still legal, had a DZP, ZSP, ZEP, or had a DZP, then he moved to another visa but is still legal in the country. Our view is that this person must be considered. The only challenge, of course, is that they will have to go back to investigate, say, who moved, who did not move. With the Zimbabwe exemption permit, it is known that when a decision was taken in November 2021, there were 178,000 holders of ZEP. The department has these records of the number of people who have applied for waivers. Remember, last time when we went to meet with the VFS officials, they had said to us that about 90,000 people had applied for waivers. Some of them were already had applied to move to other visas, applied for general work visas and so forth, and those were issued. But there are also those that the visas that they were applying for did not require them to apply for a waiver, for instance, a relative visa. So they applied straight for a relative visa without going through a waiver. So, but the department will have this record. So it would be unfair to say an instruction was applied for a waiver to move to another visa. Then cabinet says ZEP holders are granted permanent residence. Then such individuals are left out. It would be unfair, right? But as I conclude, I'm saying because tonight, this evening, as I record, as I'm having this discussion with you, is the 6th of October. By the 28th of November, the grace period expires. And we're simply looking into what are the possible options, because there's no way that a consultation can be done in about a month's time. It is not possible in our view. So the minister should, at the very least, make an announcement. And I'm saying we think that the announcement will to postpone the expiry date. This does not mean that you should hold on until the announcement is made. You might have challenges. There are people that have been granted days at the border. They keep on. Mabena was granted 3 weeks, I was granted a month, and so forth. We always say make sure that your days do not expire, because you do not know how the official you are going to meet at the border or airport is going to react when you want to stamp your passport, say tomorrow on the 7th of October, only to discover that the days we were given expired on the 25th of September. This might create problems for you. Yes, it's costly, but you need to go to the border and renew your days. You have to cross out, cross in, renew your days so that your passport remains valid. There are those, of course, there are very few, those whose passports are written Directive 15 of 2024. I've seen such, which is clear that your days expire on the 28th of November. If then the grace period is extended, there's a new directive, it means you then fall into the new directive. And I know you have questions. I said I'm speculating. We said with my team, we're having this discussion saying, what are the possibilities? Because the minister on his own, we do not think he can just make an announcement. It must be a decision of cabinet on what must happen to holders of the Zimbabwe exemption permits. Otherwise, thank you so much. We note your messages. If you are not in our social media platforms, that is Telegram, WhatsApp, though we're not, our Facebook page was kind of ran into problems. You can WhatsApp 0833401000 and then we include you in our chat group so that you'll receive these daily updates. But let me conclude by saying this. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, all your immigration questions are answered in this channel. All your immigration questions are answered. There's no question on immigration that we have never answered. When I checked, I've done in the last 3-4 years 1,600 videos. The majority of those are on documentation. Yes, of course, there are political videos, there are social videos, but the majority are on documentation. So instead of coming to me in my inbox, asking me, Mabena, when is the expiry date of ZEP? There are many videos, like I've spoken about this now. There are many videos also that speak about that. People asking the types of visas, steps to apply for a visa. We've recorded all these videos. They are there. It's a question of you getting to my YouTube channel. You just scroll and you get all the information that you need. This is why I said, if you then inbox me, I will charge you consultation fee because the information is there. Like now you are watching, all of you, I see quite a number of you, and I'm impressed. But I do not charge you a cent for watching me. I will deal with the with the YouTube channel. I will talk to them to pay me for my time to research and my team and so forth, not you. Yours is just to watch, use this information to do the application. If you were not born before computers like me, I only know how to do this. I've never done an application for anyone. Don't come to me and say, Comrade Mabena, can you assist me to apply? I will assist you with information. And the information you are going to pay for it, consultation fee, 500 rands. If you don't want to pay, get into our groups. You have many people in our groups, Telegram, WhatsApp groups. We have about 30 WhatsApp groups. You are going to be assisted without paying anything. But when you then come to my inbox, because the information is in public and you don't want to search for the information, I will charge you 500 rands. So when I charge you 500 rands, don't complain. If you don't have the 500 rands, get into our chat groups. There are many people here who are in our chat groups, and they will tell you that we have never charged them for anything. But there are other people, for one reason or another, you add them to a chat group. Within 2 days, say, no, this group, they talk too much, they exit. Then this person wants to be dealing with me in my inbox. So can you imagine that from 7 a.m., I'm holding my phone, I'm responding to inbox messages up to this time. When will I do my own private work which pays my bills? I will not have that time. I will be fired. So to avoid that, 500 rands, so that you will then ask your questions in our social media platforms. Then you are good. You come to my YouTube channel, you scroll, you get all the answers that you need. Otherwise, thank you so much for having this discussion. Have a great evening. Goodbye.